We're live. So we're at the mercy of Wi-Fi hotel Wi-Fi, and the hotel Wi-Fi has been amazing here at the Red Roof Inn. But lately, it's been tonight. It's been a one wonky Wi-Fi. That's why you can see me. First it was the battery, then it was the Wi-Fi. So it's been a fun little trip. Anyways, let's go back to the videos here. Okay, let's talk about what you want to do to this thing.
Yeah, this is neat. So the bottom of this is, yeah, to scale. It's all hollowed out, but there's a lot of room under here to put a whole bunch of other stuff. So this is blank slate. I mean, we could put a lot of stuff under here if we wanted.
You wanted to put a duet board.
It would be funny. It would be totally overkill. So this is a model of a replicator one, right?
Yeah.
Everybody remembers that. Kind of crude by today's standards. What did it even have a layer cooling fan?
No.
I mean, that's like basic.
It wasn't meant for PLA.
No.
It was meant to be an ABS dual extrusion machine.
So-
Microbot didn't go PLA until the replicator.
Yeah. So weird stuff by today's thought process. But we're just looking at it thinking, how funny would it be if you put like a duet Wi-Fi in here? I mean, be Wi-Fi enabled, it could serve its own web page, duet web control, and have nice, powerful control of those steppers. Even though the steppers are small and they don't have a lot of torque, it would utilize that pretty well without being too loud.
Yeah, maybe we should show them the print head you want to put on this thing.
Yeah. Well, what I'm pushing for, what I want to do is I want to do one of the mosquitoes, because, like Jacob noticed, they do look like the front end of a original.
Yeah, like a Mark 7
Yeah.
extruder.
So it would look pretty authentic, which is one of the things we're going for. Plus, it also happens to be very high performance, which is cool. It would also totally be overkill, but I don't know.
There you go. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Flip around again. It
There you
just
go.
depends. The other thing we could do, I'm gonna see this out in here. This is another possibility. This is just like a kind of a homemade block from the guy we got it from. But the other thing that I'm thinking of doing with Jacob, if we really wanted to get into this and make this thing, really like a scale model, is to get a mini heater cartridge.
Ooh,
Because
yeah.
the stuff we use in 3D printing isn't all that's out there. I mean, normal heater cartridges are this size and they're what, quarter-inch diameter or 6 millimeter diameter or whatever it is, and that's not the only size in the industry. They make them a lot smaller than that. So it's a little bit of a specialty part, but you can find them, and we could get a heater cartridge that's like half scale. And make an aluminum
small
heater
would you
block
want
that's
it to
half
be?
scale, and I don't know. This
Because-
is like 0.6 scale, or what is it? 1 divided by 1.6 or something.
Okay, guys, I'm thinking here.
The rails are to scale, are 1/2 scale. They're 4mm rails.
Okay, and how far are the rails from each other?
I gotta get a
Calipers? Okay.
It looks like about 40 millimeters.
40 millimeters. So 40 millimeters by 1 cube. You could probably do a 2. Guys,
Yeah.
we could do a 2 meter. So here's the dimensions. I got an idea. So what if we made it 2 meters long, lengthwise,
Okay.
1 meter thick,
2 millimeters.
2 meters across, 1 millimeter thick? Would that give enough heat to heat the filament?
I think so. It wouldn't be fast, but
Yeah.
it's not going to be speed even anyway. I mean, you can look
Exactly. So what I'm thinking is, this is coming from my mathematics and back in high school when I was doing auto mechanics and learning about heating blocking. Oh, just add resistor.
Yep.
Yeah, we could do that.
That's what people used to do, yeah.
Yeah.
They just have high temp rated resistors.
Exactly.
Sometimes they'd pack 2 of them on a heat block, one on either side, sort of like a dual
Yeah.
system, which works. Although
Yeah, because I'm thinking I could actually cut the metal. Like go to a tool die shop, they could probably cut you that metal that you need. I'm wondering if lengthwise, would there be clearance on the other side? Instead of it making it, using a bigger heater block, why not shrink down the heater block, but expand the metal in the ways where to make it shorter?
That block printed.
What's that?
We can have that block printed.
Print the block
Print the block.
on what machine?
Yeah.
I mean, we know people with
Yeah, it's a little overkill. For something that could literally just be a cube of aluminum with like holes drilled in it. I mean, you're using like a boulder to smash a fly.
But that's what we always want to do anyways.
There's no kill like overkill.
Yeah. So, has anybody come up with names for this thing? We're still working for names. We're doing, if you guys don't understand what's going on, hey, you want to shine some light on here so we can...
Let's see what we got.
Yeah, we're doing the test now.
Oh, that's looking... Let's find a good angle.
Okay, I heard Y to the X to the Y.
X to CY.
Wait, you don't love Z's? No love for the Z?
No, yeah, well,
There's a good
Z
name.
isn't
No
part
love
of
for the
this.
Z.
Yeah, that's smooth.
What'd
I
you
think
say?
I think we're narrowing in on some settings here.
Okay. I know what we could call it. It just came to me. No love for Z.
Love for Z.
Yeah. Oh, he wants to know what your T-shirt says.
Oh, a T-shirt. So it says 3D print. That's English. Impression 3D. I think that's Spanish. Impression French. I mean, they're
Yep.
cognates. So you can tell. 3D Drucker. Drucker. German.
Okay.
And then
That's
3D,
Chinese, I know.
I don't know how to pronounce that.
Ah, that's Chinese.
And then this is Klingon.
Okay, and how you saying Klingon?
I can't say in Klingon.
Ah,
I
geez,
just got this shirt at the convention from ABW.
Okay, he says.
A YouTuber
Okay.
who was there.
So someone just posted this. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh,
Oh,
me?
who is he?
Who am I? Oh, well, I'm,
Come over here.
Okay, he's gonna take over the camera, guys. Hang on. Yeah, press the button. There you go.
There we go. I'm a guy out of Minnesota. What's that Captain America says? No, I'm just a kid from Brooklyn. Kind of a nobody, I guess, so far. I just graduated college. My name is Daniel Halverson. I graduated with a degree in engineering, and right now I'm working as a thermal engineer and a fluid mechanics engineer for an HVAC engineering place. Not the most thrilling, I guess, but it's engineering and it's problem solving all day long, which scratches the itch, right? So it's good. It's very engaging and it's cool work. But obviously 3D printing was what I really, really love to do. I mean, why else would I drive like 18 hours to get out to here? And, you know, I mean, we're looking at my hotel room here. It's like 3D printing all over.
Let me guess.
Boxes and boxes of stuff.
Let me guess. You wish you lived in like Indiana, I guess.
Yeah.
Make it easier for Murph.
That's true. It would make it easier for me. No, I don't have a YouTube channel. Although people keep telling me I need one. I don't know what I would
soon,
talk
guys.
about. Maybe I should seriously do that.
Yeah,
Just have
exactly, yeah.
like daily 3D printing tips.
Yeah.
Or yeah. Good comment.
Yeah. Okay. What I may do is I might just hire him and bring him on to the CMP network.
It's E3D on
What do you guys think of that idea? Eh?
You've got an actual engineer here. I don't think you can afford him.
An actual engineer.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, I'm
What,
a
you say they're gonna-
I'm a fresh engineer just
He's
out
a
of
fresh
college,
engineer.
so I don't have a big paycheck yet.
He's
or
a
big
starving.
price tag.
He's a starving guy. So.
I guess you're still technically in the IT.
Although I am still paying off my student loans, we'll see. Yeah, I just love working with funky printers and cool designs and kinematics, and I love working with odd thermal stuff like those sliced hot ends and anything creative. I'm not a natural public speaker. I don't know. I'm not one of those people who can just stand up and talk about anything to anybody. But I guess I do have a lot of passion for 3D printing, and I can talk about that. So, yeah, like building printers. What kind of printers do you build? Give a minute to reply. So I've got 4 or 5 printers at the moment. I've got this one that I'm working on. My first one is a printer out Simple Metal. Still got that. By Brooke Drum. He was there at Earth this weekend. I build a bunch of other stuff. I've got a Castle I'm hot rodding. I've got an FT5 that was stock for a while, but now is very much hot rodded. Got a bunch of other ideas that I pitched to Bill Steele this weekend, so I might build some of those. And then our favorite one here that we're working on is that fridge-sized industrial metal one. Oh, that's cool. What is that?
That's a delivery car.
Food deliveries.
Neat. That's cool. It has like a styrofoam cooler on the back.
Yeah. Well, no, it's a full
Oh.
refrigerator on the back.
We're a hot box or
Neat
whatever
stuff.
it is.
Yeah, hot box, depending
Yeah,
on what
same.
you needed.
That's how I learned too. You just gotta try it, and you learn something from it. I throw half my prints under a magnifying glass. I'm always learning something from them. There's always something to learn from a failed print, right? In some cases, a failed print is more interesting to me than one that turned out. Because if it turned out, what's the point of that, right? I mean, yay, it's good. What do you learn from that? I don't know. But a failure, okay, see, there's something you can analyze in there. Maybe multiple somethings. And sometimes it's something you haven't seen before, and that's cool. I do like running into something. Oh, that's a new error. Because 3D printing is a complex topic. There's a lot of physics going on, and with all of the different mechanical components interplaying together, you get a lot of potential for some really odd, unique errors that happen, depending on how the machine was designed. Some of those would be unique to a certain machine or others, but yeah. So let's see how much time we got left on this. About
That's something I would love.
10 minutes
That's
left
what I
on
would
this.
love to have on the CR10 is an actual countdown, guys. In a way that could count down. That would be a nice little feature in the next Marlin.
Yeah, it's hard to do, but I could see that being done in the slicer and then a number being attached to the G-code file.
There's some.
It's turned out pretty good. So this is that filaments.ca.
Yeah.
PLA gold, yep. Pearl gold. Right now it's melting pretty well for me at 205. About halfway between that. I tried it at 200, had a little bit of stringing. Tried it at 195, that was not quite hot enough. And 205 seems to be good. Alright. See you later, Mad Mike.
What do you think of the color, though? Guys, what about the color?
I think it's a nice color.
Are you guys liking the color?
We should hold these prints up, compare them all after we're done.
Yeah.
Which side with the
So Mike left? Who's left?
Well,
Mike Riley's still in the house?
I think we just on.
Yeah, so press the
Mike-
chat
Mike
button.
left.
That'll give me an idea who's in here. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, he's the only one.
just Mad Mike. So we got one other person watching. Okay.
It was one when Mad Mike was on.
Okay. Well, maybe we might pick up a few other people as we're talking.
All right. Oh, hey, we got another one. Apocalypse Survivor.
Apocalypse Survivor, my friend.
Yeah, who's that?
What's up?
I'm new to this whole streaming scene, so I don't know anything about what we're doing.
He's one of my modelers, so he has that little wrench there.
I see. Very cool.
Yeah, we're back, man. We've been suffering like Wi-Fi hell.
Yeah. Well, we're back.
Oh.
So CR10 is finishing up here. I'm doing some tuning on that. I gotta say I've been pretty surprised by the CR10. This is my first time using one in person. Ah, nice. I do a lot of that too, late night printing. Yeah. So, hey, Apocalypse Survivor. Have you seen this machine? New cantilever system. A lot of pulleys. Yeah, this is a gold filament. This is Pearl Gold PLA by filaments.ca. So you can get it to focus. There you go. Dimensional tolerances seem to be pretty good. It doesn't have as much dye swell as a lot of silky filaments. It's got a little bit of sparkle in it too. It's a pretty good gold. Yeah, I want to do some mechanical testing on it, see how it is. Overall, it seems to be, to me, just a pretty good, straightforward, straight up, nice looking PLA. Oh yeah, all right. Sure, a quick rerun of the cantilever machine. So this is a variant of Core XY that I invented in October of 2016. And I've been working on ever since. Just like HBot can be inverted from two bars with a gantry crossing between them into a single one with a gantry that moves in and out, and we call it T-bot. you could take Core XY, which would have 2 rails, one here and one here, and a gantry between them. You can invert those belt runs, turn them inside out, turn them into a T, and call it what? T Core XY, Core XYT. I'm still kind of leaning towards Core XYT, but we'll have to see.
It does affect the low.
So I'll put the belts back on in a bit. Right now, all I have to do left to make it print is reprint this guy and then put a new hot end on it. Just tweak the mounts and make a new version with a new hot end. What I have on here right now is a Light 6. Works fine, but mounting is a little difficult. I've never really been a big fan of group mounts, so I'm gonna tweak some things so that I can get it working without a hot end that has a group mount. The hot end I'm gonna have on here is a Slice Mosquito, so Slice Engineering, maybe with some Magnum. We'll see. We've been working pretty closely with the Slice guys. My company Art3.
Well, no, the only one we have is A&W.
The stuff I've been doing with them is flow rate testing, checking on mounts and stuff. Oh, yeah, good question. Does Core XY firmware work, or do you have to have special tweaks to the software? Well, that's the neat part. Because kinematically, all the math works out to be the same as Core XY and HBot and TBot. It's all the same. The firmware doesn't need to know the difference. You just set it to say, hey, it's Core XY mode, where you add and subtract the alpha and beta to get X and Y motor movements,
So you got
and it works.
Who's on here right now, guys? Okay, so we got Apocalypse Survivor.
Yep.
Showing me a second person. So,
And
guys,
Mike might be back on.
just remember, if you're enjoying what he's explaining to you right now, please thumb up the video, okay?
Yeah.
If you're finding whatever you're seeing here is interesting, thumb it up. You know what? We need to get me and you together. We're going to get
We
you.
should do like video calls or like
Video call.
Can we do chats? Like
We can do a video
Online.
call, okay?
Maybe
And I
like
can punch it through Streamlab OBS. And
That'd be cool.
and then I'll send a link so you can watch the chat.
Sure. I'm very new to this whole streaming thing. I've only
What do you
tried
guys say?
streaming
Yes?
once. Yeah.
Should
Should
we
I
bring
do a
him on?
podcast?
Should I bring him on
I
the
don't
show
It's kind of fun.
on Sunday nights?
Sunday nights could be fun.
Yeah.
Jacob, you too. We should. So we've been kind of tossing around the idea of doing a podcast or something. I don't know. Maybe we could test run it sometime and see if we like it.
What?
That's what you keep saying.
You're gonna get naked on the stream? I don't think so.
Hang on. We got a good question here. I saw a little small machine in someone's lap earlier. Yes, you did see a little small machine. Jacob, show this. It is so cute. This is the first time I can honestly say this printer is just adorable. It's absolutely adorable. So this is Jacob, my colleague. He's Art3. See that on his shirt? He brought me into this whole crazy mess, and he's the reason we're at Earth showing off a fridge-sized tool changer. So we got this printer unfinished from somebody we met there.
Yeah.
So it needs some work. Right now we have the laser cut panels and all the mechanics and the motors in place, but we have no extrusion system. And, that's the next step.
I think it is with the mosquito.
It's a little
Almost.
fun sometimes.
It looks like a Mark 7.
It really does.
It's not quite to scale, but it looks good.
That little fan in the front and then the block, yeah. It looks quite a bit like a Mark 7 extruder from a distance, if you squint
So
a little
we
bit.
want to make a carriage to hold it on here, run the belts, not melt the belts, and
That'll
then
be the
print a
trick.
fake motor to go behind it.
Yeah, so it really looks
To
like
give
it.
the illusion.
So I have a question. Is that masonite or acrylic? Is that the frame? The frame is plywood. Yep.
Straight up.
Yep, straight plywood, just like the original
Think about
MakerBot Replicator 1.
Yes.
Yep, the OG Replicator.
And what I figured out for that.
Yeah, everything is scaled down.
Yeah.
It's so thin. The plywood is very thin, but I mean sturdy. And these bolts are itty bitty. I mean they're like what, M1.6 or something. They're just tiny. Yeah, it is super cute. It is super cute.
I want to make a little replicator too next.
Yes. So for that one, we might get some acrylic or maybe some. I don't know. What would you use for that? Maybe melamine.
I think acrylic and dust it with with an airbrush.
Yeah, you want that matte black,
That
like
ma-
speckly look.
Because like on it, it had a powder coated steel frame, and then it had plastic like textured sheets
Yeah.
outside cover. Like
Yeah.
the motion, I mean, we could just take the motion directly from this and put it
Yeah.
in that.
That's right. So yeah, let's look at this
I mean,
motion here. These rods are to scale, half scale,
Yeah.
very, very
And
small.
He's even got the connecting rods for the y-axis in here
Yeah.
for the drive. I'm like,
Yeah, the drive. There we go. You see them? They're really cute.
You didn't play over a lot, but
Ooh,
my first
hey, we
time-
got a comment from Apocalypse Survivor. He says Sneak Share is working on a small form factor i3 idea.
Still not used for that.
6.
Your hand slick.
That's cool. A mini i3. That could be fun. So where I first was looking at this guy, he was showing me the guy we got this from. He was showing me a board that he was using to make a small printer bot, and it was everything on a ramps, but just crammed into like half the size of a credit card. Yeah, it was just unbelievable. Extremely component dense, which is really neat. Expensive, but I mean that's what you get for miniaturization.
yeah.
But yeah, a lot of options underneath this for electronics. We could do a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
So what's
Now,
on here?
You want to hear the
pretty
really
similar.
crazy ideal?
Yeah,
So, well, one crazy ideal, we put a duet board in the bottom of the
it would just be silly.
It would be ridiculous, overkill.
Absolutely overkill.
I mean that and the mosquito, that puts the build in like
the hot end.
$400 range already.
Just for those two
Plus
components.
whatever he paid for all these motors and stuff.
Yeah.
No, we had this big giant round ball. Okay.
What if we did
Big plastic
A
ball
Coke
with the
can
edge.
sized Tico.
Like the yoga ball.
Yeah.
So it's basically scaling down a Tico, which is instantly recognizable to many people. You know, it was the face of Kickstarter for a year. Like Tico was the darling of the budget 3D printing world. Like they looked like they were going to succeed to some people, and they have a really attractive design that would look really cute if you scaled it down. So maybe we could take the Tico idea, the Tico design, and just scale it down to be really little and make a delta out of it that actually works. You know, something you could just like almost hold in the palm of your hand. You know, how cute would that be? Imagine what you need to do for filament though. It'd be too small for filament spools. You need like just loose coils.
No one bandit. That was
Well, I mean,
Be really
with
fun,
the-
though.
With the size of objects you're printing,
bandit.
you could do tiny little spools.
I suppose. You don't need to store a whole lot of filament because it's not like you can use a whole lot in the object anyway.
Feel like
Was it
So,
Yeah.
the guy's name that does this project, his name is James
the tallest tree.
Carpino. I don't know how you pronounce his last name.
Yep.
Birds are dying off.
Really smart guy.
I'm super thrilled that we found him because this is just stupid cool. And I've
It
always
is.
wanted to make 3D
It
printers.
is so cool.
And we talked to him yesterday, and he's like, this is one that's been on the back burner for a while because I don't have the bandwidth to do it. And I'm like, I would love to take this home with me and make it my project for the summer. And he's like, yeah, I don't know, I'll think about it. And then at the end of the show last night, he came up to me, handed it, he's like, here's my baby, have it working by Maker Faire.
Deal.
It's like, challenge
We will have it
accepted.
working by Maker Faire. Let's see what we can do with it. So of course we want it to
And
look.
if we get it working by Maker Faire, I'm gonna go to Maker Faire.
Oh yeah. If we get it working by Maker Faire, I want to come with you.
With a whole bunch of little babies.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be the easiest flight ever. You could take everything in a carry-on.
Absolutely. I mean, this thing is so small. You could just like look. It fits on my
You
hand.
could take a farm of these as a carry-on.
It would be such a neat little demonstration printer. I mean, you could just bring it and plunk it down on a desk.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
And it's like, you can hug it.
Use it as a stuffed animal at night. Just like
You can cuddle it.
tuck it under your pillow. Yeah, the first cuddleable printer. Well, maybe that'd be the Tico. Those round, soft edges. And
It's got sexy curves, so let's be
yeah, the Tico did look really good.
Lots of sexy curves.
Yeah. Say, how's that print turning out? Looks like we've got about a minute left, I think. We are just wrapping up. Bridging looks pretty good. Not as good as before because the temp has increased. Yeah. Apocalypse Survivor says, I see that little guy being pulled out of a doctor's satchel. It's just about the right size, too. I mean, you can just reach in and...
Yeah. Well, you know, something funny that me and Daniel talked about. At home, I'm refinishing a baby grand piano, and I took it all apart. And in doing that and removing the keyboard, I actually broke a hammer. And I started looking into like what it would take to think it through, like, you know, how could I fix this? Because it broke at an angle, so I'm like, I could print a splint and just glue it on, and it'd be good. And I thought that was like the jankiest solution ever. And then I went to Google and started reading these piano technician forums, and like, that's how they do it. So I'm like,
that's actually what they do.
The mini printer could work for like a piano technician.
You could literally pull that out of a doctor's satchel, plug it in, and print out whatever pre-made part that you need.
There are tradesmen in very specific fields where this could make sense.
Yeah, instead of bringing a truck full of this and that and the other thing.
An SD card full of spare parts, and said, you get to the place and you start doing a tuning and you realize, hey, the part's broken. You cue it up on the machine, you keep going on through your tuning, and by the time you're done, that part's done, then you can just fix it right there on the spot.
Yeah, don't need to run home or get a specialty part, anything like that. Honestly, it could make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, when you were explaining it to me, I remember thinking it seemed pretty janky to just use a splint, and then you messaged me back an hour later going, wait a minute,
really
that's actually what they do. Well, it makes sense.
He was so aware of where
Hey,
I was.
they just finished.
He wouldn't get ahead of me and let me step on him. He'd stay right
Let's see how that's looking. There's a scraper underneath the bed here. Want to do the honors?
brush on the back of my ankle. Or I could just feel his little breath.
Die!
He wasn't a
Stuck down pretty well.
very much like, I need to
Flick
be
it.
where you are. I need to follow you at all times.
That glue stick,
I
man.
didn't understand it.
Yep.
Well, even when it's
Let's see how that looks.
That's not too bad.
Not too
he had
bad.
very good vision for.
Anything you would tweak on there? How's the back of that shell looking? That looks pretty good now. Higher tempo's the key.
Actually, that's what I wondered was
Those overhang slabs could be improved a little bit. Then again, this is just 0.2 millimeter layer height.
Right here.
No, I was looking at the ones in the back corner. These guys. Whoa. Yeah, these. Those could be a little cleaner.
For my taste, in the land of farm operating, this is damn good. I would take this.
Okay.
I'm not a perfectionist like Daniel is.
All right.
Daniel's anal about his prints.
I am ridiculous. I tune and tune and tune and tune. But hey, yeah, try number 3. That's pretty good. I would be happy with this for most stuff too. The back of that finally turned out quite nice. You can see the facets in the file. Here we go. Here's a good view.
I love that because they're so.
Look at that.
Smell.
Yeah. See the facets showing up there?
You can smell.
I think that's a success there.
Yeah, it's fun, the conversations me and Daniel will have about like printing things, because I come from the world of running a print farm in a school where I've racked up, like just in that job, like 10,000 hours of printing. And I look at one thing and I'm like, well, I'm going to do it this way, because if I do this, this, and this, it's going to get time back, I can get more done in a day, and blah, 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 blah.
They've helped
Sure, the same thing to Daniel's. Daniel's like, no, do it this way, do it this way. Cue up all his crazy settings and look at it and I'm like, it's 10 hours longer. What the hell, Daniel? He's like, but it's gonna be beautiful. I'm like, I don't care about
But
that.
it would be
I
so
I'm
beautiful.
like, I need a functional part. I don't need it to be beautiful.
Well, why not make it beautiful though? What do
Yeah,
you mean
so-
you don't have 10 hours to wait for a little?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, it's the fun conversation of like the practical operator versus Daniel the desk jockey.
You're calling me a desk jockey again. That's one for Max. Yeah.
Total desk jockey.
That's right. That's what we call it when somebody has low real world experience and then they just like go from a theoretical standpoint. That's our inside joke.
Goddamn desk jockey.
Lean towards the light and have a look at the bridge.
Sure, yeah, let's take it. Have a look see. I'm pretty happy with this one. String seems to be fixed,
Oh wow, yeah, you got.
and the surface quality is now very nice.
Holy bro. Though this looks like it's almost stringed almost.
It does, very thin.
Yeah.
Apocalypse Survivor says, I'm willing to trade time for technique as well.
You hit that button right there, it'll bring back the chat a little.
Yep. Oh yeah, I agree with you. Yep. Doing some advanced stuff, little higher technique stuff, even if the print takes a little longer, you know,
Okay,
might
guys,
as
we're
well
near-
make it turn out right.
Yeah, we're near light, so you guys can see this a little bit better. You want to get the...
Let's flip to the
Yeah.
front camera here. That is pretty nice.
That's the spiral right there.
Yep.
Bring up the spiral a little bit closer.
See if I can get it to focus on that.
It'll focus on it. Just what this is the main problem. See?
Yep.
It's focusing on it.
Yep. There we go. Top surface turned out quite nice. Had to step away from Kira's default settings a little bit. Yeah, the first layer. Oops, got a little blue flake on there.
Yeah. Up.
Oops. Sorry.
It poked me a little.
Oops.
That's okay.
Rub
That's
that off.
very nice. Feel to the
Yeah, see
back
if I can
end.
get the first layer. The light, it's very shiny.
That's the thing with mirrors. If you've got a flat surface on
Here we
glass,
go.
it gives it that shine, which I find interesting.
Look at that. Look at that quality. Yeah, this was sliced with Cura. I'm not a big Cura guy. I use Slice 3R, or however you like to say it. But I'm pleasantly surprised. Let's see if I can get it to focus on the back
Can you
here.
try giving Kira a chance again?
Yeah, honestly, I think I will. Maybe the new release, though. There's some neat stuff in there.
Actually, I
Yeah,
just
there's a
had
couple
an
things I would tweak. Extrusion is pretty good, although depends. Yeah, a couple things I would tweak here and there, but I would call this good.
The friendliest dog you can ever imagine, but like just her size, Rottweiler. Yeah.
The bridging is pretty good. Not as good as the previous models. That's one thing that definitely took a downturn because I increased the temp 5 degrees. Only 3 of those vertical posts rendered because of the extrusion width, as is typical. A little bit of blobbing on those because of the direction changes and the high back pressure. But if you slow that down, that of course looks better.
ledge right over here.
Let's see. You can see the facets on the back look pretty good. Looks quite smooth. The spire actually turned out very well. That's due to good cooling, as we talked about earlier.
That was off a test print.
That little circular overhang or bridging section in there turned out pretty nice as well. Good cooling.
I popped it off the brand.
Let's see that infill pattern. It's triangular. Turned out pretty good. Text and areas of infill around the text turned out nice. Not as good as Slice 3R does, but then again, all slicers have their own, unique quirks and personalities, and I'm sure if I were to tweak around and find some settings that work better for Kira, just whatever his personality feels like,
Make this much smaller.
I'll probably get that to be really, 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 really nice and smooth.
Hard from one side and the softer.
So I haven't tested any dimensions yet, but that's next, I think.
Feel water.
That looks pretty good. I would
That's what I was
call
trying to
that
explain.
good.
So that test print, I just looked at it. There it is. That's what I meant to say. Yeah.
Question. We have a question from the stream. He says,
Okay.
how was the show for all of you? Can you share any highlights? Anything that really sparked your imaginations?
Well, I have to say, we all know the Country Club guys. We know that his printer was pretty damn interesting.
Yeah, there were a lot of cool printers there.
Yeah, I think what's happened is I think Country started us all down the path of going to PLA printers. Making our printers by PLA.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, I think the thing that was probably the most shocking was the shock sword.
Oh yeah. That prop that was crazy. Do you guys all get to see that? Those lightning bolts.
Tell them it's like the axe from Murph.
An RFID
The axe?
ring.
Yeah, the axe from Murph.
The big old axe. Yeah, that was
The
cool.
RFID ring to enable it so that somebody couldn't just pick it up and fire it off. They needed to
Yeah.
have
The ring of
that
power.
ring on
Right.
in order to.
I think
to
that's a good
allow the
safety
system
feature.
to
Kind of an interlock. Yeah,
It was a great idea.
it was pretty neat. How about you guys?
Yeah.
I think all the textures what's his name? Shoyer, David.
Oh yeah, the fellow doing all the fabric.
The printing on fabric.
David Shoyer or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys talked to him for quite a while.
Yeah, that guy just was fascinating to me. He thought a lot about, embedding these metal rings and making pausing prints and adding in these different materials, which I just thought was so neat.
Expanding beyond just printed plastic and using
Yeah.
other materials in there to give them different textures and
Yeah.
flexibility and
Hey, it's
stuff.
great for cosplay stuff
Printing
too.
and test and
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem I have with the texture one, guys, and I'll just spit it out. It is interesting they can do it, but how reliable is it?
He's actually using. He's part of what he's done is he's got a Patreon that people can support him. What he's doing is doing the legwork for people and testing various different types of materials to use as substrate to. So he's like tested like using like nylon screen and using like chiffon and like various different fabrics to embed on. It's like, okay, which ones work, which ones will melt, which ones.
Right, because there are a lot of things going on there. You need something durable, something flexible.
Yeah,
Maybe you
but
want
I'm
something
like,
stiff.
you know,
Who knows?
Pushing the boundaries. And,
No, I understand that. I'm talking like, how practical is it to be able to print on that material? Like, when are we going to get to the point that we can do this with T-shirts or
I don't
anything
know.
like that?
It's already being done with T-shirts, but you kind of need to, in order to be able to wash it, or you be flexible, unless you're doing small little bits. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
one of the things that I saw at Murph that just blew me away was he did the what would be like a fairy wing.
Oh yeah.
And he had like the veining and stuff like that 3D
Wow.
printed on it.
Okay, I did not
And
see
then-
that.
That was
and
pretty
around it,
spectacular.
and like it gave the wing the structure, and it really looked like I think that is going to totally revolutionize how cosplayers can accomplish like fantastic effects with wings.
It can be custom made, designed,
Oh, yeah.
scaled to individual people, and it's all the same. I mean, the process doesn't mind.
But
What
like
did you
Yeah.
Bill
That was really
Steele.
cool. Oh yeah, Jacob, you have a story to tell.
Bill Steele. I was looking for Daniel after the reception for the exhibitors.
Yeah.
Ran downstairs and saw him walking towards our big printer with Bill Steele, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god.
Oh boy, here we
The
go.
God is going to look at our printer.
Yeah, I had just been talking with Bill about all the cool stuff he's been working on,
Yeah.
and believe me, it was a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Man, that man he's a genius.
And I finally
says
got that.
our resident genius.
Yeah.
It's like
The print whisperer.
Hey, okay, you guys think I'm good. I got nothing on Bill. I mean, as far as machine design goes,
Yeah.
this guy, he can really think outside the box. He has so much experience in industry and so many interesting ideas rolling around in his head that he can just pull them out of air and synergize them and just combine them together into just really cool
How's the count looking
machines.
so far that we have online right now?
Looks like 2, 3.
Three?
So
That's not bad.
that's
This hour
increasing. Yep.
Yeah, like the awesome thing is like trying to get down there and Daniel's walking him through it all and start talking to him. He's just like, this is amazing, guys. He's like, this is gonna help so many people. He's like, this solves all the problems of Core XY.
Yeah.
He's like, this is like the end all design of Core XY. We're just like, what?
What? Are you serious? Bill freaking Steele is
Yeah.
looking at our machine.
You know, it would be interesting if you guys can miniaturize that.
Oh, we
monstrosity.
could. Actually, we totally could miniaturize that Core XY system. That's probably the implementation that I'm going to use on that the Core XY version of the Core
Yeah,
XY T I'm looking at.
minimize and have it print the parts that you need for for the bigger version.
That's right.
Is this also
It can absolutely do that.
Doable for the other little small printer you were talking about?
Which, oh, yes, it is. It is.
Do we let that cat out of the bag?
Crap.
Oh, not yet. I haven't mentioned it yet.
Okay.
Let's keep that to ourselves for a bit.
We're cooking something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're
that's
like-
right. We're cooking something up.
We're like walking through all the stuff we did, and like we realized I realized a week ago that all my CAD was wrong on our motion system.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, it was bad.
We were in the shop at about.
It was
8
very
p.m.,
close, but it was a silly mistake.
And I was looking at it, and I'm like, "Fuck! All my belts are inverted. This wouldn't have worked if we got close to it working."
Oh,
when we were at
Yep,
Murph.
because they were just fundamentally misaligned.
Yeah. It was like everything was right, but they were just on the wrong side, and it never would have worked. And I'm like, "Oh crap!
Time to rework the belts."
Redesign this." And
Yep.
So 4 hours into the CAD, I start looking at things, and I'm like, "I can align this to this, and you could have like these nuts like right up on the rail, and the belts in the center just going right across."
So
all
the belts
rails.
trisect that center gantry beam, and it's beautiful. The clearances
Yeah.
are tight. It uses the rail to square up the captive nuts. I mean, like, oh, it's a thing of beauty.
It was just this caffeine, adrenaline-fueled CAD session.
We were on. It was like 2 or 3 a.m. and we
2 or
were just
3
like
a.m.
pumping.
and
Those
like
are some of the best
Daniel-
parts you've ever made.
Yeah, I'm like,
Oh, we get back. Sorry about that.
Looks like the pocket juice is empty.
Okay,
All right.
so just don't forget then.
All right.
That means we don't have much juice left, but
Okay.
we're going to try to do as best we
we
can,
were,
guys.
we were talking through all this with Bill, and all of a sudden, like, Bill reaches out to, like, shake my hand. He's just like,
Yeah.
"You did damn good." And I was like, Bill Steele is shaking my hand. And I'm not forcing him to shake my hand.
No, he just reached, he was like in awe.
Yeah, I
He looked at the carriage and looked up at you and was just like,
Whoa.
You know, what makes it impressive, I mean, honestly, is that how you design stuff. You know, you consider legally blind. I just find that amazing, you know?
I think that's what one of the things he was so amazed with. Yeah.
Brilliant that guy, and it's like, and people look like, tell them a story about that. Why does your cat guy have a?
Yeah. What's your cat gonna have a cane?
Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah,
why
we're
don't you tell
gonna,
that
we're, gonna,
story?
we're gonna rattle the Slice Engineering guys here. So at Murph, I couldn't get Friday off to go with the rest of the team, so I rode up with somebody late night from Indy after work, and we roll into the hotel about 9 p.m. and the Slice Engineering guys and Daniel are talking about stuff, and was it was either Dan or Chris, and I walk in and he's like, he looks at me, he looks at my cane, and he's like, "What's that for?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm legally blind." And he's just like, "Oh, okay." And then it was either Grant or Daniel. One of you didn't miss a beat, and they're just like, "Yeah, he's our CAD guy."
Yep, that was me. I was just
And,
like,
and he
gotcha.
was just like, "What?
What?
What?"
Maybe we'll think a little about it. You're right back.
All right.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
He was stunned, but it's so true. I mean, you know, you use a little bit of assistive tech and you make it work, and you design some damn good parts.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
goes through. You know,
But like the coolest thing I
life
saw.
answer challenges you overcome.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's right.
The coolest thing that just blew my mind that I want to like start working on as soon as I get home
What was
is
that?
Bill Steele's material changer.
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
is- He showed me the printer bot test rig he did for it, and then he started
That was
explaining it
really
to me
cool.
on how I'd work with other motion systems, and just like,
I
this is awesome. And I rent, and I'm like, hold on 1 minute. You know, I sprint down our aisleway and go back and grab one of our color tactile map models. I'm like, I need this, but I need this with like 10 different materials and colors. He's like, we can do that.
We can do that.
And yeah, he sort of partially explained it, and it's like, I'm hoping to see you guys sort of work this out, because I was tired, I was exhausted, and I got about 75-80% of what he was trying to tell me.
Sure.
I could tell that there was genius here, but I wasn't
It is
quite
so-
following it all.
It is
It's
so,
so
elegant
clever.
and so
It's-
simple.
It's such a simple design, but
Yeah.
it's so clever.
It's like taking
It's
a
like
power
you're-
takeoff from your extruder drive, so that
Yeah, yeah.
when you're switching filaments and your extruder is just sitting idle and not doing anything, you're actually using it. You're using it, engaging a different gear to drive the filament back out of the
So,
zones, and then you
instead
can
of
use
doing-
the
instead of
motion
doing
system to
tool
index between the
change
filaments you
where
want.
You would go and pick up a different extruder. You know, you're just quick XY movement over to the next spot, shove the filament in, go to your thing, go back, park, zip it back out real quick, and repeat. It's like,
Yeah.
Like, why has
Really
nobody
cool.
thought about that?
It's very clever, but it is oddball. I mean, using
Yeah, it
power
is- it
takeoffs
is-
like that from the extruder is
It is incredibly
not.
oddball.
Yeah. Usually we want to think of the extruder as like a self-contained system that is just, this little block. In goes filament, out
Yeah.
goes extruded, and that's all we want to think about. But it's a bit
that would be powerful.
innovative.
You know what'd be cool is
Yeah.
if you made like a transmission
Yeah.
system where you just had the
That's what I was
one extruder motor going through a whole shaft,
Howdy.
and then you just had like little engagement things that like
Yeah. Oh, that was the next thing he talked about.
like
Did he
a
talk to you
little
about that idea?
solenoid that just pushes the idler to engage it.
Well, he was
What
thinking
about
about using
solenoids?
the extruder motor in the XY system to push on an idler that does that. So you actually use the XY system to select it. So yeah, we'll be working on that.
I was actually thinking just now, what about like servos out of like a RC and like literally like change the angle of the motor. So like you're taking the motor mount and moving tipping the motor mount axis so that it engages a different set of gears.
Oh yeah, you
So
could do
you
that
get
to
like a-
select what you're driving.
So it's like zzz, 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 like
Yep.
Select a gear.
Either that or else like pushing it along a
Something
set
along
of
those lines.
rails.
'Cause
Yeah.
like you really only need a servo to change from the gears because we're not talking about huge gears here.
Yeah.
and-
It's not a heavy system to move.
Uh,
Using an auxiliary actuator isn't the worst idea in the world.
Hmm?
Yeah. Although when you have a perfectly good XY system or XZ in the case of a
Would that
Prusa.
add ringing to the system or no?
What's that?
Wouldn't that add ringing?
Oh yeah, if you had master. No, this would be mounted on the frame.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This wouldn't be
The
moving.
part I'm not getting, and maybe this is just because I'm so freaking tired, but I'm not getting how you're using the XY system to change that's the part where you lost.
Okay, so this is actually really clever. So you got the idea of like you have your extruder and there's a gear sticking out of it,
No, yeah.
and you move it using your motion system up to press on a different gear, and then that different gear is driving like another half of an extruder that is doing the filament retractions.
Okay.
You just have a whole bunch of those in your workspace at positions that you can viably move to. So by doing that, you can choose whether you're sending power to one filament feeder or a different filament feeder or a different filament feeder.
If all this is powered by your XY movements,
Yeah, XY movement is just being used to put the gear engaging with one filament system or another.
well, what I'm getting at is like as your slicer has sliced your model, could you not be accidentally engaging things as like depending on the movement of the.
Oh yeah, good question. So these gears would always be on the very very edge, and generally what you would do is you would what I would do is I would tell my firmware that area is off limits. It's beyond beyond the movable area.
Now I get that. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that.
So they have to be on the boundaries of the build volume
Okay.
because otherwise you might bump into them while printing. So, yep. Interesting stuff. It's a very interesting concept.
So how is everyone liking you?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Likes they're really showing right now.
We got some questions. What about printing zipper teeth along the edge of a flexible material? That's cool. I like the idea of that. I wonder if what's his name? Gosh, I keep forgetting. Shori. Shori Designs. Yeah, I wonder if he's been thinking about doing.
Right here in my pocket.
Hey, there we go. Let's check on that. Zipper teeth would be very cool.
Check this out. Show them this business card. This thing is
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, this is neat. Yep, at Shori Designs. So this is aluminum expanded
You
metal
like them? You like them too
foil.
much?
That's popped into this.
Is
Hey,
that
Mike.
good, eh?
Yeah.
After you have one or two,
And
you just like,
he prints
what
it
the
on
heck?
top of it.
What the heck? 12
It's a really striking business card.
handfuls later.
But yeah, I wonder if you could do zipper teeth on
And then you
the
start
same
feeling
method
all
of
the flavor
sandwiching,
from
metal between. But if you did like on a nylon mesh or whatever other stuff he's printing on. So, are those chips good? I had a
Yeah,
couple,
they are.
but gosh, I need more. Here's the business card back.
Let them try some chips, guys.
Oh, yum yum.
I love this business card.
Man, that's good.
Anything tastes good at 12 o'clock.
This is true.
That is
It's midnight now.
That is actually
No, it's
quite
1
true.
a.m.
Is it 1 a.m.?
Yeah.
Shit, we haven't even started working on your car. It's already 1 a.m.
That's okay. I've done later nights.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, this is fun. You're a good group of guys. I like this. We got to do more of these streams. This is fun.
Crazy people we meet on Facebook.
No, they're not crazy people. They're actually more like, no.
You know, it only takes one moment of genius to come up with something fantastic.
Right.
You don't have to.
What's the guy with more messages?
Sometimes they have bursts of inspiration. Let's see.
And sometimes it's like you come up with something
So
you
he's
think is a
listening
great
to
idea.
our chat.
And someone says, "Why don't we just do this?" And you go,
I don't know. Yeah, that would work. Yeah. Apocalypse Survivor says, "Love the shirt, Ron. Work that branding."
Okay,
Let's see that shirt.
let's talk about this, guys. You want a shirt like this? Yes,
CMP.
no?
Very cool.
Email me. You guys know my just go Canadian Maker Project at gmail.com, guys. If you're interested in one of these, if I can get enough orders, I'll figure out what the price would be and shipping and everything else, guys.
Very cool.
You know what you should do? You should have Daniel's makerspace as screen printing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we got a 6-color T-shirt press. Homemade silk screens, all handmade. It's super cool.
How much would I be paid? How much would I have to pay you guys?
Yeah, and it's got like the stations, and you rotate around between them, and then they come down. And they.
I just don't have the space, but
By the
I've
way,
looked at the
did you invite
design so
me to
many
your
times.
makerspace?
Like, I
It's
want
so
this.
neat.
Like,
Yeah.
Did you guys
We got an old
invite me to your
industrial one
makerspace or
from
something?
a place that was giving it away.
Yeah,
It's
I got an
massive.
email
I mean,
from,
it's so cool.
from your makerspace,
Gosh, you know what I should do is next time I'm in there, I should send you a video or live stream. Next time somebody's using it. It's really cool.
Request to
My
join.
dream space would be like
I'm not sure
I
if
want
you
a
guys-
shop
the Mankato
Like,
makerspace.
Yeah.
with a small little loft,
I don't
just like
remember.
you know. I need
To, like,
a bedroom,
store
I need
stuff
a
up on
bedroom
the top
somewhere,
level?
I need an office, but like the rest of it is like wood shop, the metal shop, the printing shop,
The printing shop, yep.
like shop, all these different areas. It's
But
like
they have
wow.
it.
It's like
It's something you can do there.
you just find some
You
old
just have to find somebody to do it
old
for you.
manufacturing building or whatever. And,
Yep.
And like turn it into my
Your man cave, your nerd cave.
You're working out
And,
together,
I'm starting to realize
Okay.
that
You're
that
going
we
to
need
church
to have guest rooms
yourself.
now because
Yeah, people want to come and stay.
Awesome people.
Yeah.
It's like,
know the feeling.
come on over.
It would be
so-
fun. Like, imagine going and hosting an event there, or just like having friends over for a week and doing some big project. Or
Basically, like my
Imagine.
own personal makerspace to invite over all of these awesome people that I keep meeting.
that'd be super cool.
Okay, guys, so
see like all these different.
I just found out you have the print press. So how much would it be? How would it be looking at to get these done? Do you think?
I don't know. I don't know the prices on that because I'm head of the 3D printing area. I'm not really involved in the
so
t-shirts
this is
yet.
the vinyl
But
one that I had done. This cost me about maybe $30 only because I
one
needed
off?
a 2XL. So I needed a big one that could fit me, and they said that they could do it. And because I have the white and the red, that is why I had to pay a little bit more.
got it.
And the time.
Yeah, and the time because they
So
said
short
they
lead
could do it
time.
in 5 minutes, so I went with the 5-minute plan.
Got it.
But if I order a whole bunch of them, doesn't matter the size of the T-shirt. Okay, it's going to matter on the colors and the design. They said that they can do it, but they didn't tell me how. They wouldn't tell me how much because I haven't have an order yet.
Yeah, it
So if I
depends
get
so
enough
much.
people ordering it at one time, then guys, we'll set up a Kickstarter or something like that to do this.
I'll talk to the makerspace people. I wonder if we could do that.
The other thing I'm thinking is like you need to find the fellow who did Country Club and Country 3D
Oh, Chris Riley?
logo.
No, Chris Riley. David.
Not,
David
not,
guy we were
not
talking
the,
to.
like the not the banner,
Robbie
but
Mack, sorry.
somebody else turned it in and they made these beautiful stickers that are like
Robbie Mack did that for
Robbie
me.
Mack.
I didn't get
So-
to see a lot of the stickers. I'm a
So
sticker
we'll have
nerd.
to
I
see what
love
Robbie Mack
grabbing
will do-
stickers, but
could do
I didn't
with
get to get them
CP.
this time.
Actually, why don't we go to the other place? I was going to show
You
them
got
to you.
it? Let's go see. I want to see what these stickers are like.
Okay, guys.
Let's hop on over.
Yeah, I should have keys.
Yeah, I got
Oh,
a
what
key.
is it again?
I'm not
I'm
going
putting on my shoes.
We're having a fun day losing keys, guys. It's been ridiculous for me.
It's been one of those days. Long day. Long weekend.
It's been a long day.
Long week.
Long week, yeah.
Long 2 weeks. I've been balls to the wall working hard.
When was the last time you fell asleep?
Oh,
Guys, these guys are crazy. Trust me.
Yep.
Okay, come on. Close the door here.
Let's see. What? No printers in your room? What's up with this,
come
you
on,
guys?
no
It's
printers.
seriously lacking.
Listen,
Come on.
You guys took our printers, okay? So let's see some stickers here. Okay. So as we all know, Chris's basement.
Oh, that's
Yay.
cool.
So this is Country 3D,
Oh, that's a sweet design.
and that's his Country Club's design.
Nice.
So these
Little
are
bit of
people that
color
have-
pop on there. I like those
Yeah.
gradients.
And so Chris Riley came up. Not Chris Riley. Why am I keep on saying Chris Riley? Yes, I'm having a crush on Chris Riley also. Sorry. I don't know if Bird has a set, but if he does, then I can give you these two.
Cool.
You can join the club.
I love that. I want to put those in my Dobro case.
You gotta put them on your computer. Never mind.
Mm.
So we got the Earth 2018
Oh, yeah.
East Coast Rap Fest. And there's the Chris Basements.
That's a good sticker.
Yeah. If Chris
Distinctive,
if
easy
Chris
to
Riley
see.
watches the stream afterwards, he needs that sticker.
Yeah. What's this here?
So this is some filament that I got from the show. So this is a Zentech. This is the one that I'm a little
Zentech,
worried
yeah.
about putting through the Capricorn that you were telling me about.
Oh, yeah, we had some of this, and it had one little swollen area that was elliptical. It was out of round, and it jammed in the Capricorn tubing. Would have been fine in normal bone tubing, but we had an issue with it. We'll see.
This is the orange PLA guys that Pro Pasta's making.
Oh, yeah. So this is Tom's color, right? The one that Thomas sent
Yeah,
out, right?
Tom Stanley. Yeah.
It is a beautiful orange. I just love this color. Everything those guys put out, the colors are fantastic. And, of course, it's a good base material. They're
This
a
is the
kneelable
country
HDPLA.
coin, my friend.
Oh, is that a hat?
Yeah.
Clever.
Look inside. You can even see that
Maker
it's
coins are
open
fun.
right across.
Is it really? Oh, yeah. It is. You can see underneath it. Ah, that's cool.
And if you flip it over, it says KD, K3D.
Country 3D. That is nifty. I like the design of this maker coin. We have to design one for us. I might do something like
They
that.
made this one. I'm not sure what this is for, guys.
Country 3D.
So there's this. This is supposed to look like tape, like
A roll of tape, duct tape,
duct tape. Yeah.
and here's a wheel.
And no, it's not a wheel.
Oh, that's not a wheel. What is that?
That is bail. That is tied up. That's supposed to look like filament, like the master spool.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. Or a baling wire, Bad Mike says.
Yeah.
Either way, it definitely has a little bit of a janky look to it, which is kind of
Yeah.
fun.
So you guys gonna? If you guys are on a country stream, listen, guys. If you guys are on a country stream, you can tell them about this episode. I think you might watch it because you'll be surprised what this guy can do.
Why? What can I do? What is this that I can do?
Well, you know your programming skills, right? For talking to
guess.
Marlon and everything else.
Yep.
Well, think
Yep.
about it this way.
I've done
You
quite a
could-
bit
You could
firmware.
help him because he's going to build a Delta now.
Oh yeah,
A
deltas are
printed
fun.
Delta.
I've done quite a bit in
Yeah, but he's taking
Marlin.
but he's taking PLA and making it into a Delta.
Ooh,
Yeah.
fun. That's exactly the type of oddball project.
Really? You don't want any
You
more
guys are
nerds?
great. You don't need partners. Yeah, no thanks. We have enough. We have 3. This is fun.
We need to pass that. Does that have the earplugs?
Yeah, look at
I wish.
Chris is out.
I'm too lazy to put them in.
Mad Mike says he wants to print onto a spinning tube. Ooh, so like one of those 4th axis things you see on laser engravers.
Look
I
at
would-
Hyrel. They can do it.
Hyrel does
And they
it.
have
They
the
have 4th
slicing
axis.
figured out to do it as well.
I
They got a
really-
custom blend slicer. to do
I wonder
it.
if they'd share
By the
that.
way, that Delta
Maybe
that
not.
down there. What's going on with that thing?
Oh, I should show you guys this.
That's for curling.
You were talking about Hyrel. That's like that is probably the first printer I ever drooled over. It's like
Oh,
right
I
after
know.
the Kickstarter phase.
They have
Like,
some
When
cool
I had
stuff.
money to build out my lab at the school,
All you
I
need
would've
that
got
now is
a
the
little
full
more
market.
money. I would have bought all of their machines. I met them at Rapid and really hit it off with them. They make some beautiful stuff,
Yeah.
and their team is phenomenal. And
I wonder how
really
much.
smart dudes.
Ask them how much is this going over their heads that they don't get?
I don't know.
Because they'll tell you we don't get it.
Yeah.
This is gonna make people
They can
people
type
think
them
I'm not
down
allowed to swim through. But back at that point, I really didn't know what I was getting. I knew I was interested in 3D printing, but
Mhm.
I didn't know it. I didn't even understand why you would want a dual extruder at that point.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like I certainly didn't understand what the ultrasonic bath was. Like I actually had to ask them a question.
Yeah.
And then they explained
What's
what
this
it
whole
was all
bath thing
It's
for?
like, oh, okay, this is why you want it on
That
a
makes
on an
sense.
enclosure. That's why you would. Oh man.
Yeah.
So that I just.
That's cool.
But
But yeah, those are drool-worthy machines. I mean, I know what you mean by that's the first machine you drooled over. They have some really neat tech in there.
Yeah, I think the main thing I was looking at was
Well,
like,
and
you know,
it's
this
all,
was
like,
one of the first machines.
genuine
it's like all
industrial
metal
hardware.
hardware.
I think it's time to get more ice.
That's all servos and stuff.
Gotta watch. It's almost all water
Alright.
here.
Ooh, Mad Mike says, what's the best way to go around printing on a spinning thing? And then he says, he elaborates, for printing custom pens.
Oh.
That could be cool.
3D. So is he trying to? 3D
So you'd probably have a skinny
or is he
barrel,
just trying to
and then you'd want to print around it, like, to make a texture.
So you've got an existing barrel.
Yeah, you'd probably have a skinny existing barrel, maybe a thin-walled tube to print on, something you could chuck up. Print on aluminum tube, all right, and then you'd be printing, textures and stuff onto that, grips.
So basically, what you're talking about is making the y-axis a rotational axis.
Yeah.
And your x-axis, and you don't even need a z-axis. So you're essentially almost.
Well, you need a little bit of a z-axis because you need if you want more than one layer. You know what I mean by layer,
Yeah,
Michelle?
no, you're right.
You need a
Yeah,
little bit of a
so-
z.
So it would basically be an offset based.
Yeah.
But you might actually. Do you think you'd be able to achieve that with a servo instead of?
It could help. Hey, Jacob, can you get the door? You probably might have to write all the G code yourself, just because I don't know of any slicers that would do that. So you might need Excel spreadsheets and do some math to figure it out.
It seems like an awful waste to use a stepper motor to move like a small amount. Like we're probably talking like 7 mil max. Like I can't imagine.
Yeah,
you
a
making
pen being any bigger than
on
that.
top of something that's already got.
Who knows?
Talk about this stuff, man.
Oh yeah, that's cool. We got a lot of neat stuff here. Kind of just recapping the thing here. Somebody else want a video for a bit?
I can hold it for you.
Sure.
Here, put the ice pack.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So, how you guys been doing? Hopefully, you guys have been enjoying the stream. Like I said, thumb it up if you like it, so we know. So, why don't you talk a little bit about this filament? How did you end up with this box?
This filament is interesting stuff. These are quarter spools made by 3D Repcord. And, Repcord.
3D. I just had one of them just replied to you. They said, let's see here. I think 3D printed custom pens would be cool.
I think it would be cool. Although I bet you could do pretty well with that now with a conventional system, just printing up vertically in the z-axis.
Yeah.
In fact, that's actually an excellent
You'd wanna
way
do it
to
with
print
Delta.
detail. You can do it with the Delta or the Cartesian. I just wouldn't do it with like an i3 or something.
Oh yeah.
A Delta would rule.
Delta would do it
Delta
properly.
would
Yeah.
be very nice. Ooh, imagine making a really skinny Delta that's like just the size.
There
of
is
a
one.
pen. Just like.
Well, if you were printing,
There is one. If you look at the Maker Mini.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come here,
although
Mickey
it's
Delta.
pretty traditionally like proportioned. I mean, how funny would it be to proportion a Delta intentionally? So it
I
has
just
like,
got a LOL cool, by the way.
It has like 20 millimeters of diameter, and that's it. How silly would
I
that
think
be?
you've got two problems there. One,
Yeah.
you're printing so that your layers are this way. You put that pen in your pocket, it's gonna break.
Yeah.
Two, I think the original intention here was to print onto an existing, let's say, metal
Right.
tube.
But Barrett-
So
On a barrel.
He could
Uh,
use that super goop that we saw.
oh yeah. Well, you
And
can press
just do
the
that.
thing in later if your tolerances are really good.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is the tolerances are good. Yeah.
Which might be easier. It might be easier to do that and tune a traditional printer to do that than to try
Yeah.
to print on a barrel.
yeah,
But the barrel has the cool factor going for it.
it does.
Yeah.
It does. Like, I'm actually thinking what we're almost talking about is the egg printer.
That's
It's like
pretty
an
much
egg-
what it is,
the
really.
egg,
Yeah,
I don't know if
you're
you
drawing
if you search for
stuff
the
like
egg
that,
printer,
it's
it's like paints on eggs. So it's like you know those
Yeah.
using like a
Oh, we're going off topic from the filament. thing, guys.
Yep.
Sorry, yeah. So Jacob knows a bit more about the actual story of this stuff.
Jacob,
Yeah.
you're being asked.
You're the one that gave this filament to, right?
Oh, actually, Chris got someone.
Chris, instead.
Chris got to talking to someone who talked to someone else, we brought the rep core, introduced the rep core person to Chris, and then at the end of the day, he came over and gave us that box to do.
Okay, I hate to be that guy, but
Which
Chris?
Yeah. It's like which Ron?
There were a lot of rounds there. Which Dan?
right.
That's another thing. The slice engineering guys. There was a
It was
Dan there, and
Marty.
I'm a Dan, and it's like.
Oh
man,
god, it's many days.
Marty, the guy from Iceland, and I were talking. And then I said, "Hey, where's Kat? Kat from Germany." Because she was really cool. Talked to her last night in German for like an hour. Walked over to Kat, talked to her. She was like, "Hey, you should talk to these guys." So then I talked with Alan. He goes by Puccinelli, and his partner in crime, Zach.
That yellow is just
Brilliant.
I don't remember
The
his
blue
name.
too. They're like fun
Yeah.
primary colors.
But Alan's got the.
This
the
reminds me of
color
Funkin'
company.
3D. It's called
Yeah.
yellow.
So we were talking, and he dropped them off at the end of the day, which was really kind of him.
But I like this idea of the little spools. It was a great idea just for
Spools are
samples.
actually a great
You know,
quantity.
Think about this, okay? You go out to a show. Say you go out to you want to find out. You want to do like a test spool.
Yeah.
This gives you enough to run a couple tests,
Do
see if you
tutorial
like the
tests,
filament.
To run it on multiple machines, maybe try something a little longer.
This is also enough to actually print an actual object.
That's right.
Which is
You
the
know,
problem with most samples.
Sample spools you get, like the free coiled stuff, it's great and it lets you print like a Benchy and maybe another little stuff, but it's not enough to like really run. So I find I can usually get a material fully characterized in about a quarter of a spool or a little less, maybe fifth of a spool. So having a quarter of a spool, in my mind, would actually be a great quantity for like doing some in-depth material tests.
This would be interesting if you can get a 4-head printer going to do
Oh, yeah.
color prints. You know, this is great test quantity just to get the right
Well,
amount.
I mean, mixing stuff is tricky. If you're mixing,
Well, not mixing, but say if you're printing like one color and then the next one's going to be that color, and then you need that color, you can with a background, you know.
Yep. Yeah, you could do dithering and stippling with these to get multiple color things that look like they're gradients essentially, just like newsprint is. You know, it's made with finite dot sizes within a certain range.
Don't get
Here's the
crushed.
other thing.
It's
What
also
was that? You said iteration?
Dithering.
Dithering, yeah.
So here's the other thing. These spools are like perfectly proportioned for this little baker line.
You're in love with that stupid thing, aren't you?
So adorable. I mean, just look at that thing.
It's adorable.
It's adorable.
Somebody put the time to say, I need this at one quarter scale.
Well, you know what I mean, though.
Yeah. It's silly. It's not a practical printer, but man, is it cute. And it
We're
would go
gonna
really
make
well
it
with these
practical.
spools.
We're gonna make it practical.
it might not be a practical
People will
printer
want it
for
when
some
we're done
things,
with
but
it.
Or other things maybe. I mean, if you wanted a printer this size, I could make
if
a
you wanted to
really
crank
kick-ass
out
printer.
maker coins or test tubes,
Yeah.
Hey guys, would this be a printer you'd like to see see us turbocharge it, take it to the next level? Once it works, prints.
Massive servo motors hanging up the sides. Twin tailpipes.
Oh, we got a yes already for it, so you got to go and do it.
You turn the thing on, the torque is so high it just starts spinning.
my problem with this printer at the moment is I'm looking. That's a wooden build plate, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm having nightmares.
Yeah.
You know something? I got an idea.
And if you
I got an
pack
idea.
it
Hey, guys.
with blue tape, it can work.
Yeah,
Question.
with blue tape.
Could you use CD mortars instead, which would be smaller, run quieter, to run all the axes?
CD stepper. Yes, you could. You could use a CD stepper to run that, especially their little integrated ball screw.
What's a CD step?
You know, like the little motor that runs, it indexes the laser and receiver across.
Oh.
Have you seen those?
Yeah.
A lot of people who make printers out of like e-waste.
I've been
use
hearing
those.
people been making those now.
They're pretty
using
cool.
them.
Although they're limited in speed and size and power, because I mean, what they're moving is inertial, and the inertia is very low. So,
Oh, wait a minute. That's the answer to the pen drive.
maybe that could
the
work for
pen
that.
Z-axis.
To be honest, you could make
Yep.
it out of CD drives.
Because that's exactly the kind of.
So I'm thinking, like, they'll be small
Software is
enough.
the issue, I guess. Yeah.
They'll be small enough, and you could probably just drive
Small
the.
enough. Honestly, one of those were great Z-axis.
Would it really be that
Yeah.
difficult to figure out how to drive? Because it's just a smaller stepper driver.
No, I mean, yeah,
Oh.
that end of the driving is not difficult. It's more
What time is it for
generating
you? We lost track of time about maybe 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
It's 1:24 a.m. in the morning, so we're running the midnight oil now.
Yeah.
We've all got our second wins now.
This is fun.
I'm not sure about all. I think we've lost one.
We lost one so far, but
I'm fed fast.
he's somewhat still awake. But at the same time, he's thinking, "I want to sleep. I want to sleep. Leave, people, leave."
There's
So,
Enjoying your company.
oh, that's good. Oh, my Mike likes your duet idea, by the way.
Yeah, wouldn't that be fun? Just so much overkill, but
We thought about putting a duet in Tico.
Why not just put? Oh God.
I know, right?
We had that serious conversation.
okay, if you've got a duet laying around, please put it in my CR10.
That's a little
No, if you got
overkill
no, if you got a duet, it goes in my C or 10.
Oh.
Imagine this.
Hey, for
Seriously,
$170,
a Tico would be
I'll put a duet whatever the
hilarious.
fuck you want.
Yeah.
A what?
For $170, I'll put a duet in whatever the fuck you want.
I was hoping this was like a surplus duet. It's like, no.
Hang on a second. If I'm gonna do that, yeah, I could say you can stick it up your,
Yeah, stick it wherever you want.
Hey, you know, the duet maestro's coming out.
Oh, guys, Micro Swiss, really? Duet with a Micro Swiss?
Maestro, that's the second generation art. Well, not second generation, but like second.
It's like a
full
dump. It's a
set of hardware.
cheaper 32-bit duet board
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
M3D of all people funded the development for the Duet 3D guys.
Why?
What a strange world.
Ugh.
It looks like M3D is trying to turn their image around. I
Yeah.
mean, they're starting to do open source stuff again, and they're doing some really interesting things. So.
What about
As much
MakerBot,
as I
guys?
don't like them, I will withhold judgment because it seems really cool. And you know,
What
One
about-
thing I don't get is why M3D didn't buy out Tico. Because it seemed like
they could have
if they did, because they were both trying to go for the same
Yeah.
market that
Well,
they
very
ran an advertising campaign.
M3D was
anyway,
trying to pick up on the people that got burnt by Tico.
I got an idea.
yeah,
We should buy all the Ticos that we can find on eBay
Convert them
and convert them to work.
into something just turbo.
Yeah.
Here's what we were thinking: if you would run even just like a 12-volt system, picture this: Duet up top. Use the original board just for its LEDs, so it can sit there contemplating its own existence and worthlessness for all eternity. Not hooked up to anything, just sitting there in a state of brain in a jar. Anyway, and with the Duet, run some proper stepper motors like mini NEMA 23 or 17s like pancakes, or even like maybe 17s, maybe 11s. 14s, maybe 14s.
14?
Pancakes, I don't know.
Really?
But take a linear rail
14 to be
and
acceptable.
build a linear module
Yeah, I
onto
guess
it.
so.
The forces are very low, so you could take a linear rail and build, 3D printed parts that make offsets for a motor, hold a pulley, a slider, carriage that goes on that, and a pulley on the other end,
you
and a
can
tension
buy
system.
3mm linear rail.
On this, the Tico has some nice little convenient slots that are 10 millimeters wide, so we could do an MGN9 rail, have a 0.5 millimeter spacer on each slide, and slide in these 3 identical linear modules that you make. If we had a probe that could, using accelerometers and probe the bed, the Duet will do the rest. It'll do all the calibration for you.
No.
stick?
Your stick.
So
The
it would actually have some
Yeah.
pretty
Try that again?
neat
Yep.
printing speeds. The other thing we would try to do is to keep it looking as much like the Tico as possible. So it would have the original end effector, although temperature feedback in it,
no, I'm not.
and probably a bird air cooling
So
pump,
you just need this for juice.
remote air cooling
Yeah.
pump, so that we're not
I
mounting
don't
both
need it.
fans on
I
it.
said the batteries have full power now.
What else would we do? What else would we do?
Sorry, guys, you're gonna see a little jerkiness here. I do apologize. My arm's getting tired of holding this damn thing in my hands.
So while he's doing that, I have a question.
Yeah.
So one of the things I heard is that I read an interesting article on, I think it was Hackaday, where they said that the problem with Tico is that they innovated too much. They
Oh,
tried
absolutely.
and part of that was that they tried to use a processor that nobody used before. A board that they created their own board, and they tried to write their own firmware. But that board was actually supposed to be a pretty good board.
Yeah.
It's just somebody needs to finish the firmware. So
It's
you were
unfinished,
talking
yeah.
about using it to just power the lights, but like, wouldn't it be so much better if we could actually get that board working?
Well,
On paper,
hey,
the board looks excellent. Got a lot of
could
processing
we-
power. It could work, but we
No.
just need somebody to finish the kinematic calculations, get the
Just-
firmware to work.
I'm just putting it on me for a second here, but just thinking about that, couldn't we just get the Raspberry Pi to talk to that board to make it work?
Possibly.
Rather than
the problem
tearing
is
it
more
apart.
so that its processor doesn't know what kinematic calculations to run. Like it doesn't have
Yeah,
coding
so-
matrices programmed in it correctly or whatever it needs to be doing. Because the movements are
Yeah. It's a programming
lacking
problem.
in
so much
I
of it.
mean, I don't know what it is, but it's missing some motion
Yeah,
calculation.
because we don't want to turn these into fish tanks. Come on.
Right. We
Who
wanna
wants
turn it
Ticos
into
to be fish
deceptive-
tanks?
We want to turn it into a sleeper, right? That's
Yeah.
what they call it when a car is like deceptively powerful. This would be a sleeper from the waist up. You know what I mean by waist, like where it's clear,
Yeah.
and then it would look exactly like a Tico. Nothing sticking out. Nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it would look just like a Tico. From the waist down, it looks just like a Tico. Still got the clear. Still using the original end effector. Arms that look like the original. Just if you look very closely, you might see a couple extra wires down there or a bird air pump.
Actually,
But the rest of the guts up above inside would be completely different.
I know that one of the things that they kept trying to do, they kept trying to compensate essentially for the problem
So
that
yes.
they bought the wrong motors, that they had rail issues and all that.
That's right.
So is it possible that they essentially finished the basic kinematics that were required, and it's really all the tinkering they did to try to deal with the hardware problems that
Mechanics issues.
so
Nemo, guys, we
maybe
just
we've
got
already got what we need.
comment here. Nemo 11s is what I'm experimenting with for this point, for point 6. It's actually 11/17 this scale.
It's like,
Okay, and MG. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my God, I get back for a run, and you're still up. LOL. We are insane people. You have to understand this. You join the country, it becomes insane.
So what if you were to take it, like do the hardware rebuild, and then try the existing board and try to kind of strip away whatever garbage they may have added to try to deal with the problems,
Maybe.
and see if there is a functional.
I would need a copy of their original firmware. If I could get some of that OG firmware, like the original setup, full source code, maybe we could reverse engineer it. But I don't know if
What the question is who's bought up that IP, because
I have no idea.
that would have all been liquidated in the.
It's probably locked away in somebody's hard now. I don't know. But if we could get our hands on it, I mean, maybe with some motion engineers, we could reverse engineer it. Because on paper, that board looks really good. It's got a lot of processing power. It's got built-in Wi-Fi, and it's got built-in like real-time processing unit. And,
Built-in
floating point
Wi-Fi with
units
no
too.
security.
Yeah.
It's like,
Switching
there
it
were a lot
back.
of things they didn't think about. So,
That's not working for you.
okay. So, yeah. Well, I want to show you a little bit of this. Ooh, this is a cool little gimbal thing. I want to show you a little bit about this Delta, because this is really interesting here. So this Delta, while we're on the topic of underpowered motors, right, is using pretty standard but small NEMA 23s or 17s, I mean. And it's ooh, can you use this?
You can't do left to right though.
yeah, left to right doesn't work so much.
It only
Oh.
works if you
Up
have the
and down?
software enabled to with it. So
Got it. Wow, this
once
is a
in a
really
while,
cool little gimbal.
it might lose it a little bit. It's because the case is adding weight, so I'm trying to adjust for the case.
Got it. This
Yeah,
is neat.
so there you guys.
There's a lot of neat motion hardware in here. I kind of want to take these apart now.
You're not taking apart mine.
I'll take for somebody else's. But so originally, this was a Folgertech console. Originally, the motors were down to the base. These two are spaced apart very specifically by the motor, actually, and that was down below, as would make sense to make a bottom-heavy printer. But the cable runs are pretty long for the way I wanted to do it. You see, the board is underneath the heated bed. Not really ideal. What I wanted to do here was convert it, because I'm converting it to a totally silent printer. I wanted to convert it to upside down, meaning steppers are up top, they're in the open air. The board is up top, the board is in the open air. Fanless power supplies are up top and are in the open air, so they can dissipate heat very well. So if all that stuff is up top, the wire runs are really short. The only thing you have to worry about is running power down to the heat bed. So unfortunately, there's some losses there, but I'll just beef up those wires like.
Why not put it behind this
ridiculously.
rod? Have one of the rods go and have it feed in behind.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing. I didn't mention this yet, but I want to make it self-enclosed. So I even have a beam going across, and I'm going to have the filament spool up, chucked under here. The power supplies, everything's going to be self-contained within the footprint of the frame. So this will be my travel printer. Take it somewhere, plunk it down. It's so solid, it doesn't really need recalibrating. I mean, when I drove this to Murph last year, it was like a 9-hour car ride on highways of all kinds of bumpiness, and it didn't need to be re-leveled when I got there.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
yeah,
insane.
yeah. It was really cool. So I want to tap into that. Maybe have an SD card reader or something on this so it can run as a standalone demonstration printer. So that'd be really cool. It doesn't make any noise. All the fans are very quiet. With fanless power supplies, it would be basically silent. And then it wouldn't make any noise that could, interfere with the demonstration. That reminds me, I came up with a really interesting way to time a 3D printing demonstration.
Okay.
So ahead of time, I do a spiral vase. That's where you print a model and it's all manifold and nice and easy, and there's no fancy jumps in it, and it just goes in a spiral. No retractions, no movements, no travel movements, no anything. It just goes up. And those are very predictable in terms of their size. They're fairly linear as they move up. If you look at it and you know roughly what size it's going to be in advance,
How long did that one
you can
last?
time it out so that you can say, all right, I want a vase that is like 20 minutes or 25 minutes, or I want my vase to last half an hour. And you can test it ahead of time and make a vase that lasts that long. And during your talk, you can just look over at it and say, oh, my vase is starting to finish. I'm about halfway. Okay, my talk is about halfway. And you know how to pace yourself just by looking at whether the vase is getting done or not. It's a cool way to give a presentation. So I've done that a couple times, and it works great. So vases, of course, are neat prints for demonstrations because since there are no travel moves and there are no no time wasted on that, you're just pumping plastic the whole time, and it's a single shell, so it's all it's contributing to your vertical movement. They look more impressive. There's faster deposition, and it makes a bigger object than it would otherwise.
I just had a great idea. Sorry.
Yeah.
And it's not about this. I'm just thinking for a name. If you were to start your own YouTube channel,
Mm-hmm.
you should call yourself the Print Whisperer.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
The Print Whisperer.
I mean, I could try that.
I think he ought to just call himself.
Everything of his is Techie Fiddler.
Well,
He's got to remain
Techie
Techie
Fiddler?
Fiddler.
I have to be Techie Fiddler. Well, I could. You guys could nickname me that. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm thinking that we just lost another one. And,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think it might be time that
Jacob tapped out.
oh damn.
That leaves us three,
We need
the
to
old
leave
guard.
Baltimore by like 9 a.m. at the latest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jacob's
sure.
right. So
We call it and then first string.
hey, we should call it a night.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I didn't quite get to the end of that. If it's enclosed and the volume is heated, does the bed need power? No, what I would be doing would be using the bed to heat the volume just through natural convection, since that's at the bottom and everything is enclosed. Unfortunately, there's still a patent on using circulating air to heat an enclosure. If you sell it, if it's just my internal
Don't do that, so.
printer, then Stratasys wouldn't have a problem with that. But as far as trying to sell the tech in, I wouldn't be able to do that. But anyway, yeah. So these motors will be running on stealth chop, and they have very low torque, but it works with some hacks.
Wake up, Daniel.
What's that?
Is it at 8 a.m. when he's banging in your chest? Wake up, Daniel.
That's right. That's right. That's probably how it's gonna go.
Yeah, we still have to unplug a lot of equipment still too,
We
eh?
had
Yeah.
we ended up having to tickle it.
Well,
That was the most effective thing ever.
Yeah. Don't remind me. No tickling. No tickling. Not cool, guys.
Given the
Tickle, tickle, tickle.
No.
of beverages that are keeping this man awake.
Yeah, I just had one kickstart.
He's gonna crash, and he's
I'm
gonna
gonna
crash
crash.
hard.
Yeah, I'll probably get my laptop out and finish drafting up that part, and then.
Daniel, just go to bed.
Oh, but 3D printing, man! I want to 3D print.
I love 3D printing, and I really
Yeah.
enjoy hanging out with you guys. But
It's time to get to bed.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right. I gotta be the driver.
Lord Christopher
All right.
and I can't
Apocalypse
help you with
Survivor
that.
says, KK, I'm gonna crash as well. Thanks so much for sharing your thoughts. Well, thank you for tuning in. I've had a lot of fun doing this stream here. You know, I haven't really done anything like a
Oh, you got a
stream
thumbs
like
up,
this
man.
before, so we got a thumbs up.
Yeah, you got
Very
thumbs
cool.
of
up.
course, you got a thumbs up. He's,
Awesome.
There's a
See you later, Mad Mike. Thanks for tuning in. This was fun. So this probably concludes our post-Earth
Post-Earth, yeah,
and,
recap,
and
yeah.
after party.
So guys, just let you know if you're interested. Let me know.
Get on YouTube,
I'll have to get them on YouTube. Okay, well we will be getting
That's a couple
some
votes for
votes,
YouTube.
yeah.
I think we got to work something out. Maybe we should try like a
Well, I'll show you
live stream.
Streamlabs just before we go. But
Very cool.
thanks everyone, guys, and have yourself a great time. And thanks for watching.
Yep,
Bye, everyone.
signing off.